on the set, on the scene. Welcome back to the Bricks, broadcast from BPR Studios with your host, Ken Boyer. Alongside me, Michael Lewis. Now this past weekend, man, we had a lot of high-flying action, a lot of buzzer-beating action, a lot of unsuspected victims to, you know, the likes of Florida Gulf Coast and LaSalle's and Wichita States. I mean, March Madness, man, and Madness is actually inflated for this weekend because you have a lot of things, you know, that turned out that a lot of people wasn't thinking, man. What was your take on how everything turned out?
Like every year, man. Every year you get one of these teams from the end of the world that nobody ever heard of.
Yeah.
Just coming out of nowhere, beating a powerhouse.
Right.
I mean, it literally happens every single year. I don't care who you is, man. The beauty of it is this. It's one game. You get one shot. It's like football. That one night or that one day, you got to win, period. You don't get 3-4 shots like in the NBA.
Right. No excuse.
You better bring your A game every single. It don't matter who you playing.
Right.
The only thing I don't like about it is, or the good. That's really a twofold. I mean, you can't do a. You don't. Sometimes you can't prepare for teams as much as you like to. Yeah. Because you really don't know them. Literally. Yeah. These coaches, you know, are complaining about. You know, well, you know, literally after they're done the game, we're gonna watch film tonight, and then we play this team tomorrow. Right. So it's really just pure talent, pure hunger, pure fight. You gotta bring it, man. Yeah,
every night. I mean, there's a lot of different things you see. I mean, from there you see a lot of the politics that go into it as well. I mean, you see teams like Gonzaga who ended up being the #1 seed, and they end up getting taken out by Wichita State. But now, mind you. You know, on the way to the trip to the arena for Wichita State, they got a surprise visit from the blessed one himself, the great Tim Tebow. Yeah. You know, he graced them with their presence and came on the bus. And all of a sudden, all I knew was next time I seen Wichita State was hammering Gonzaga. So I mean, I mean, he may not be bringing that type of luck to the Jets, but I mean, it sure worked for those kids, man. He got them revved up and excited.
And that one dude, man, Ron Baker, that dude, I mean, you literally find out these people as they're playing. Yeah, it's a nice game. Yeah, you know, nice little 3-point shot, in about 16 points. You know, 3 for 4 from 3. So I mean, it's all about playing hard, man. You don't know, these guys have talent. Yeah, they're here for a reason, man. Right. So,
and I think that's one of the greatest benefits of a tournament like this is you get a chance to see people who, like you said, who are unknown to you, because obviously you don't have a chance. I don't care who you are. You know, even us as, you know, sports analysts and people, we cover different regions and different things like that. So you don't get a chance to see these guys every day in and day out, and know what to expect. I mean, that's the great thing you see about things like that. I mean,
go find them on TV.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, me, for hometown pride, you know, the state of Michigan gets 2 teams in to the Sweet 16. Overall, the Big Ten has 1/4 of the Sweet 16 going into the tournament, and headlined, I think, by, you know, my Michigan Wolverines. Yes, I mean, those guys really they got it as far as and it came by one decision, actually 2 within that same game. #1 was starting Mitch McGary over Jordan Morgan, and #2 was bringing Jordan Morgan in for 1 minute and seeing how helpless he was and sitting him right back down immediately. That was those two was the 2 biggest decisions that I've seen in that game. Is what they did that I think is going to take them the longest way. And Mitch McGary, 21 points, 14 rebounds, second starter in the NCAA tournament.
He was 10 for 11 from the field.
Dominant, man, dominant. I mean, not only that, you see the way he ran the floor. I mean, the press from VCU it's relentless. I mean, they're really good at what they do.
That's what they love to do. That's how they beat you.
To start the second half, I mean, they started out 3 straight turnovers. I mean, they turned over. Trey Burke had 7 assists, but also 7 turnovers. He was, you know, leading the league in turnover to assist ratio. So that was something that was a big deal to me because I haven't seen that, and we've seen them go up against the Oladipos of the world. You know what I mean? All these different defensive teams in Ohio State and Aaron Crafts and people. He's never done anything like that. Definitely not match his assist to turnover ratio. But I mean, a lot of things you learn with that, you know, it gives you a chance to see all these other guys and these other teams. And Shaka Smart, who, shout out to him, one of the great young coaches in college sports right now.
Him and Brett Stevens.
One thing, though, I see with that, I mean, you have teams like, you know, in the Sweet 16, like you have LaSalle versus Wichita State, you know, because of, you know, allowing Gonzaga to get in there. And, you know, teams like VCU, you know, that's in there, who are respectable, are more like on the Boise State end when it comes to, or Louisiana Tech, how they were last year in college football. You know, those guys getting in there. I really, you know, I have to give it to, I mean, I've never seen someone as relentless with their game plan, like with the press. The entire game. I mean, from start to finish.
My thing is, at some point, it's not working.
Yeah.
It only works if you can score. They only put up 53 points. So get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only Shaka Smart, you're a good coach, man. But come on, y'all should have changed the game plan up at some point.
But that speaks to the talent level, what they dealing with. I mean, from these other conferences, that's the thing that I'm talking about. You see these guys that they're relentless in one thing that gets them there. They're really just like a one-trick pony, which it comes to see. Literally, they had no other option. The beginning of the second half, I mean, you come out through the entire game. You have to see, I mean, a team like Michigan, you done. You cannot run a pressure like that with those guys. The best
backcourt. And Trey Burke, are y'all kidding?
The best backcourt in the country, and then you have Mitch McGary. He gets the ball in on the sideline, you know, pass in, and he takes the ball half the court in there and dunks it on him. I mean, you can't do that. That really let me know really like the disparity when it comes to talent, and that they're one-trick ponies. And if that trick isn't working, man, they ride it out, man.
Think about it. First game you play Akron, you blow them out by 46. You try to do the same thing to Michigan, you lose by 25. What does that tell you? It's like
one-trick ponies, man. One-trick ponies.
And to me, they never had control of that game at all from the start of the game. Michigan looked crisper, hungrier, you know, faster the ball, just livelier. I know it's a 12-15 start, but I mean those guys just right at the top of the game. They said, you know, let's take them out.
Yeah,
handle this right here.
I mean, usually you'll see teams like Michigan. Sometimes they'll employ, you know, their man defense, or they do their 1-3-1 zone that typically works for them. When they change up, see, I mean, they change up different things. These guys literally. They came to the conclusion that I literally said, like, man, I'm impressed. They're really adamant about this press, but I mean, dude, you have to change it up. It's not going to work. They literally had nothing to go to. Nothing. No answer for Mitch McGary. Didn't try to zone. Didn't try to do anything to get out on the shooters and Tim Hardaway. I mean, they were coming out. The guys are just gasping. And another big thing about these teams, you see the talent difference and the disparity. These teams go like, say, team like VCU, they go like 5 to 7 deep at the most. So running a press like that, when Michigan is able to rotate guys, even center, they rotated 3 centers in there. You know what I mean, in the game. So you running these guys to the wall, and they have no one to come in to drop them. Yeah, I mean, you're done, man.
We'll pass out.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, you see Michigan State, you know, they thumped, you know, Memphis. I mean, it's just like the Big Ten really showed up. Iowa State gave, you know, Ohio State a pretty good, you know, pretty good matchup. Nice little classic game.
That to me, the thing that made that so good is that, you know, you down 13 with 6 minutes left. Came back.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same for Indiana, man. Same for Indiana. They, you know, they came back and battled through the storm.
I mean, that one dude, Khalif Wyatt, man, he pretty good, man. He had 20 of his teams. He had 20 of his team 24 points in the first half. You know, at one point, you know, it was 24. He had 20 of them. So it's like,
and he's a product of the mid majors. You don't see this guy super athletic. You know, he's not going to jump out of the screen, you know, jump out of the gym or anything like that. I mean, he's Mr. Fundamental. He's basically like a, you know, a poor man's Tim Duncan in a, you know what I mean, a smaller floor. Yeah. But gets the job done. That shows you don't have to have all these type of guys to do that. You know, Michigan hasn't had them, but you know, it speaks volumes to the talent level that Michigan is at right now, where they're able to breeze through, you know, these teams. They're blowing out the teams that they're supposed to blow out, and they're handling, and in the adversity that they went through in the Big Ten. You know, I was really upset when they lost to Indiana. You know, for the final regular season game.
Disgusting. I still couldn't. I mean, I immediately tweeted that.
Yeah.
You blow a 5-point lead under 50 seconds to play.
That was terrible.
That hurt.
But this team, you know, over the course of the NCAA tournament, you know, this past week, it really got me to really think and it revived some of those thoughts in the beginning of the season when people said, man, Michigan is really looking like a Final Four team. They have Final Four talent if they can put it together.
Stephen A. called that out early.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with the influx of Mitch McGary into the starting lineup now and the way that he's been battle tested through the Big Ten, and not only that, he's going through a maturation process at the highest level in the NCAA tournament, seeing different teams every single game and at the highest level. And I think it's more of what you had with the Fab Five, you know, not to compare this team to the Fab Five because that was awesome talent, but how they didn't want to start out the first games of the season starting all 5 freshmen when you had that talent. Clearly Michigan doesn't have that, but they have 3.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean, guys. That you say that you have to start. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. And now letting Mitch McGary start this game is really, you know, it's really let them see that, you know, hey, we have to win now. Now it's not about pleasing the seniors. It's not about easing you in and say wait your turn and say earn your stripes. Mitch McGary earns it every day in practice throughout the whole season.
Let's see, that's kind of exactly why I thought maybe they weren't gonna make it. Me personally, I didn't have them making the Final Four in my bracket. My bracket, of course, is destroyed with what's been going on.
Yeah.
I actually had Georgetown coming out of that, you know, the South. Yeah. So, I mean, it just lets you know if they play well, they can play like that, spread the ball around. You know, you got McGary dropping 21, Trey Burke had 18, Glenn Robinson had 14 and 9. You got Tim Hardaway dropping at 14. So that it was really that's the type of game that they need to play in order to win. They could win the whole thing, honestly.
And I'll say even for that, you know, Michigan the past 2 games, they haven't shot very well from behind. Aside from Tim Hardaway Jr., who's hit some big shots from the 3-point line, they really haven't shot well. And the key to that too is Nick Stauskas, a freshman, another guy who really hasn't turned on and showed out the way that he can. So if he can turn on, and I think he has to in this next game, in order for them to make it past, you know, Kansas, man, that's a beastly team.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and now Mitch McGary is in there. I think I would just tell him to hit the weight room this entire thing. Practice, you watch, but you just watch us. You just stay in the weight room because that's a big time guy. But Mitch McGary, you know, you see a lot of guys talk about, okay, 6'10", 6'11", you know, 250 pounds. Like, people don't know, he shed 20 pounds since he's gotten on campus. But he's gotten a bit, you know, more of that lean muscle and a little bit more explosiveness, you know what I mean, and comfortable in that body now. Yeah, now he's looking like he looked at in high school in Massachusetts. So, I mean, he's really looking good. But Nick Stauskas turns it on, man. Mitch McGary keeps playing at the level he's playing at. And now they actually have a big banger that can handle, you know, a guy like Withy. In the post, I mean, and Kansas isn't a great shooting team. I feel like Michigan can really turn it up.
It's streaky.
Yeah, very
Johnson streaky. Travis Vellifer streaky. They do play hard on defense.
Yeah,
though.
Defense,
this should be a very good game. Man.
But the thing is, with Michigan's offense, you're not going to have those you better score some points because no matter how good your defense is, and like we said, the wild card in Nick Stauskas, if he steps up and starts making plays, you're not going to stop this team from scoring. You're not going to have, you know, 10-minute drops of not scoring and think you're going to beat Michigan because they turn it on. When they turn it on, they go in spurts of 10 and 12. So easily, and that's within 4 shots. So I mean, they better get it together. But I'm taking Michigan in this, man. They was very impressive. Our hometown Wolverines. You know, shout out to the Spartans too, being in the Big Ten. And, first time Michigan and Michigan State is in the Sweet 16 ever. First time back in, you know what I mean, the Sweet 16 in almost 20 years.
Since '94.
Yeah, I mean that's. Big time things that's happened now is really exciting in the state of Michigan to be a fan and to be a fan of college sports, man. Great games this past weekend. We're going to touch a little bit more on that. But for right now, this segment belongs to the Wolverines. Ken Boyer, Mike Lewis, report from BPR Studios. It's the Bricks.
How do we follow up our opening act? Hey, we was born to sin, born to lose again, no way.